Morning students, we are continuing with the same unit, that is Introduction to Statistics. In Introduction to Statistics, you have seen the descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. So this descriptive and inferential is helping you to represent your data, and for representing your data you need to calculate. So you have already seen the data analysis and data encoding, then tabulation. So your central tendency is part of the descriptive statistics, where it is helping you to present your data in a single form or in a single unit. So let's see the introduction of central tendency. One of the most important objectives of a statistical analysis is to get one single value which represents the entire mass of data. That unique value is called an average value. The average value lies between the smallest value and the largest value. That central value is known as measure of central tendency. For example, you can take that in a class of 40 students, there is a leader and there is always a one leader. You cannot say all the 40 will be the leader of the class. There is always a one leader in the class, and he is helping to present the class on behalf of all the 39 students. So you can say that one leader of the class is the central tendency and he is representing the 39 students. So is your central tendency. Whenever you are collecting your data, you cannot put your all data in your presentation. So you need to calculate and simplify it in a single unit to present, and this is central tendency is helping your data to get it in a single unit and to helps you to present it. So now see what is the importance of central tendency. So central tendency helps to find out the representative value. So whatever you have collected, it helps you to find out that value. Then to make more concise data. The more concise data means, concise means very specific, means whatever you are going through your research process and whatever data you have collected, you cannot submit all your data in the presentation. That is, if your data is of 10 pages, you cannot submit your data in 10 pages. You have to make it short. So that is your concise data. Central tendency is making your data short and helping you to present. Then to make comparisons, to make difference, to make comparisons, it is helping you. Then it is helpful in further statistical analysis. If you go for any further you can say analysis, it can help you to further analyze your data. Then here is the types of central tendency. So there is mainly three types: mean, median and mode. So I think you have heard this term in your maths portion also when you were student. So these are all math you are going to deal with, you are going to calculate. So let's see what is mean. Is commonly called the average or the arithmetic mean. So this mean is also known as average value or the arithmetic means. Mainly we are telling it as arithmetic mean in the math. It is the most popular and widely used, refer to the measure obtained by adding all the scores of respondents and dividing the sum of the number of objects. So this mean is most of the time it is used, and how it is calculated, that you are keeping all your respondents value and dividing it on the basis of your total number of the respondents. So that is how mean is calculated. We will see the example. So here is the example. Mr. Jackson randomly selects 10 students to answer a questionnaire on the correct usage of grammar. Scores for a sample of 10 students are as follows, that is 84, 75, 90, 98, 88, 79, 95, 86, 93 and 89. So here is the question to find out the mean. So let's see how it is calculated. See here, x is calculated. So mean is presented by the mean of x bar. So here they have calculated all the numbers that is given, that is 10 students number, and they are adding it up and then dividing it by the total number of students, total number of the value, and the answer is the mean value of your question. So this is the method how you are going to calculate. You can see the equation from your books. Then we will go for the median. Here the median means middle. So it is the score which divides the population into two, in which half of the scores are above and half are below it. The midpoint of a data set is calculated by arranging the data set in order from least to greatest and identify the middle number. is dependent on whether the number of elements in the data set is odd or even. So mean is collected by the means of arranging it from the greatest to smallest, or you can say smallest to greatest. Mainly it is arranged in a sequence. Then you are finding the middlemost number, and then that is known as your median. So we'll see the example. Mr. Kotley conducted a vocabulary test in a random class of grade 7 students of MCC, and their scores out of 25 items are as follows: 19, 15, 22, 17, 21, 17, 25, 18, 17. So we have to find out the median. So these given numbers, first you have to arrange in a ascending order, that is from the least number. So here in the given list, there is least number is 15, then comes the 17. So you have to see how many repeated numbers are there, you have to arrange accordingly. So 17 is repeated 3 times, then comes the 18, then 19, 21, 22 and 25. So in median we always go for the middle number. So here your middle number is 18. So that is your median. Then we'll go for the second example. Find the median of the scores in English vocabulary of grade 7 students. Here is the same question of MCC. In the given data set 19, 15, 22, 17, 21, 17. Here there is a slightly difference in the number of the students. So if you are seeing here, in the previous questions there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There were 9 marks were there for the scores out of 25, and in this second question there are 6 marks. That is, in previous question there were 9 marks, so it was easy for you to find out the middle number, but in the second question there are 6 numbers, so you cannot find out the middle number. For this, what you have to do, you have to take the 2 middles number and you have to add, and then you have to divide it by 2, and what the sum comes after dividing, that is your median. So that in finding median, you have to keep one thing in mind, that you have to see that the numbers what you are arranging is even or odd. If there is an even number, you have to take the 2 middle numbers, and if there is odd number, that is how you have seen in the first question there were odd numbers, that is there were 9 numbers. So in that case, just you have to select the middle number. That is the way to solve the question. Then we will see the mode. Mode refers to the scores which occur most frequently in the large group of respondents. It is the most unreliable among the 3 measures of central tendency because its value is undefined in some observations. It does not always exist, and if it does, it may not be unique. So it is telling that the mode, how you are going to calculate mode is based on your number of frequency it is occurring. That is the way how you are going to calculate your mode. We are going to see the example. See, identify the modes of the following data sets. So your numbers are given 2, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 1. So in these numbers, what you have to do, you have to see which number is occurring for the highest number of times. So 2 has occurred 3 times, 5 has occurred 2 times, 3 has occurred 1 time, and 1 has occurred 1 time only. So the highest numbers of occurring 2 has occurred highest number of time, that is 3. So 2 is your mode. So this is the way how you are going to calculate your mode. You have to see how many times each number has occurred. So in today's class we have seen the central tendency, that is helping you to present your data, and in central tendency it is mainly divided into 3, that is mean, median and mode. And mean, median and mode is the part of your data. When you are going to collect your data and you have to present it in the form of tabulation, then you are going to use this methods to calculate. Thank you to all the students.